Hey everyone, my name is Imelda Jimenez-Lamar and I'm a product photography coach helping handmade sellers learn how to shoot product photos that sell online. And today I want to talk a little bit about composition in product photography. And if you are anybody who grew up with a little bit of an artistic background, or obviously photography, you've probably heard of composition. And composition is essentially the arrangement of elements, things in a photo that contribute to like the final image, which in general might be like a very attractive, visually appealing type of image that you're drawn to or not drawn to. So it's really important when selling online because you want to make sure that your product looks good. You want to make sure that you're creating, inviting type of photos, and you can really do that with composition and stand out really against competitors who might be just quickly taking snapshots of their products and uploading them online. So it's really important to just really think through how you're photographing your products and presenting them in your photos, because that's what your customers are going to be looking at. So I want to share with you a couple things that I see online that kind of is a little weird or that I don't like. And if you are doing this, you can fix it. So yeah, let's get going. So first off, the biggest thing I see is horizons that are crooked or not level. This to me is like one of my biggest pet peeves. And the reason is it's such a simple thing to avoid. If you're using a tripod and you have your camera on there or your phone, whatever you're photographing your products with, make sure that the camera is level. Whether you're photographing your product on a table or outside, maybe a model's like holding it, make sure that the camera is level. Because when it's not, it looks sloppy, it looks lazy, it looks bad. And it just, to me, says this person was not paying attention and did not care how crooked or off-center, this photo was. So make sure that you are making sure your horizons are level. And you can do this. There's usually a feature in cameras now where you can make sure that your horizon is level. Usually it's like kind of like in the grid section. There might be like a weird level thing. Anyway, consult your manual or your app manual. Another thing I tend to see is too many props. So when it comes to product photography, keep it simple. Less is more, okay? Less is more, people. So when you're using so many other props, it just gets really busy and it can look messy. So you want to make sure that you are only including the things that need to be in the photo to communicate what you need to communicate. So making sure that you aren't using like really large props in comparison to your product, because that can really draw attention away from your product. I'm not using a bunch of different colored props that, just create more visual distractions against your product, because your product needs to be the star and it needs to be something that your customer easily sees and is like, oh, that's the thing. Even selecting props that are all sort of the same color and like muted and are kind of, in the background can be really great, because then it makes your product, be the star. So really think through what kind of props you're using, even the color and the texture, and how is that going to look against your product in a photo. And you need to also pay attention to your backgrounds. You don't want that to be a distraction against your product either. And lastly, the thing it's sort of just like a, added thing to think about. This isn't like horrible, but when you're grouping products together, especially if you're photographing, a product with like different variations, like different colors, and you're wanting to show that in one image, people tend to gravitate towards odd numbers of objects. So if you're photographing, like t-shirts or mugs, and you want to show the different variations, show them in sets of 3, or 3, 5, 7. I had to think there for math is not my strong point. But yeah, showing it in, you know, odd numbers, quantities is kind of more visually interesting and more attractive. So think about that. Think about that even goes with your props, like, you know, having your product and then maybe like 2 other items in the photo, and it just like the balance is a lot better. So anyway, so really think about that when you are photographing your products. So I hope those are some useful tips for you, and I'll be creating a blog post soon with more information on composition, on product photography. So make sure that you are subscribed to my email list on my website, which I will leave somewhere here below. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be in the description. Anyway, so that is all for today. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, any comments, whatever. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.